International basketball has been crazy. Do y'all think that international basketball will be taking over the NBA?
This is Droppin Dimes. Let's talk about it.
Over the last 3 to 4, 5 years, the MVP has been Nikola Jokic, as of late, and Joel Embiid, and then Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It's been international players, let's be honest. I think it's not about, will the NBA is being taken over by international players. In my opinion, I think it's already happening, and I think more and more. I've always been the side where I think American AAU is kind of ruining the fundamentals of basketball. The social media, all this stuff with social media is kind of just having kids doing like the highlights and focusing on there. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm saying majority. And you're starting to see that because overseas, you'll know that a lot of players are a little more fundamental. As far as I think, in my opinion, again, I think a lot of American players kind of get away with their athleticism. They're a lot more athletic than typical European players. I don't know what's in our food these days, but kids are out here doing between the legs windmills at the age of 12. When I was 12, I was happy to touch the rim. That's kind of like my quick 2 cents. Friga, I'm curious how you think with the NBA currently with the international players and where you think it's going to go, and your opinion on just like the high school transitioning into the college and professional level. Do you think, players are more developed at a younger age in overseas versus in America these days?
We're becoming a league where it's not just American-focused basketball players. We want the best basketball players in the world, not just America. So that's where it gets fun. I often play with a few basketball players that lived overseas or are from another country or whatever and grew up playing basketball, completely different style, and I love playing basketball with them. A person specifically, his name is Juro Pantos, and he's from Serbia, and he is one of my big 6'9", 6'10", goofy friends up in Ohio who is amazing at the game of basketball because he is a pass-first player, and that's just how they teach you in Serbia is that, and I'm going to say his words here, is an assist is the only play in basketball where two people are genuinely happy. Those are just words straight from him. And then you look at players like Nikola Jokic, who is Serbian, that does focus on plays like that. I love it. I love that the development of basketball is being taken from the best parts from all over the world. So I really enjoy this topic. And then to go to your point on the development difference between international basketball at a young age versus basketball maybe in America at a young age, I am just going to be honest and say that I'm not sure. I think you made a good point on the athleticism. The athleticism thing over here is crazy to me. It's so crazy. I love it. The being athletic and being able to dunk make you a good basketball player? No. Can it help you get attention? Yeah, for sure. But, it's really dependent on how much you're in the gym, how much you love the game, and how much do you love getting better at the game. If you're not elevating your game, you're going to remain complacent on being a basketball player. So
I have a little bit experience just when I played in England, and just when I was like 12, 13 at the time, and I'm not even kidding you, bro, like my age group, I mean, I was averaging 50. Like it was I had to play 18, 9. Yeah, I had to play 18, 9, 19-year-olds just to like sweat. And that's kind of like, it's weird because you would think like, okay, the development is there and like the fundamentals is there, but because like my athleticism, I was fundamentally sound, and I had, I was tall. I wasn't like super tall at that time. I was like still under 6 feet, but nowadays 12-year-olds are literally 6'8". I don't get it. But yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, like Friga was saying, the game's just kind of taught differently, and I think more and more I'm seeing AAU more like business like. It's kind of sad to see, but if you're just surrounded by the right people, the right town, the right city, I think kids will find a good outlet, and AAU's not all bad. It's just some guys, it gets political, but that's a whole different topic. And it's interesting.
I think that's a great segue, and I think we want to hear about it. Me personally, I don't have an athletic bone in my body. The best trait about me is that I'm African, bro, and sometimes I can just do things that abnormally like my peers can't. But y'all too, like y'all are different sort of athletes and whatnot, and so like
mixed breeds.
I want to ask like. Yeah, you are too, actually. I forgot about that. What is the issue with AAU, and what era, like when did this happen from from what you see?
I'm 30, so I played AAU like literally. Damn, I know. Before
that's one way to start it.
I mean, so back in my day, you know what I'm saying? I think it was like 2008 was when, from 2004 to 2010 is when I was playing, and I would try to, go to travel teams that just had the best talent. And, I didn't have the most money at the time, so I couldn't be on all the good teams that had all the travel because you had to pay. But I think it doesn't really matter. If you're good enough, those travel teams will pay for you, and that was kind of my situation. And then I grew up in Kansas, which is a pretty basketball heavy, Wichita, Kansas. And, I don't know how it is now because there's social media. But, man, if I had social media, boy, I would be shooting threes. I would tell the coach, I would say a lot of stuff because I was the type of player, like, I kind of felt like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but, like, my play style was I was the tall guy that liked to shoot threes. So when at my time, as soon as the coach said that, I was on the bench. So I couldn't even really play the game I wanted to play. And I could shoot, but the coach just didn't believe that I could. So I only had one attempt. So if I made that first one, I could shoot another one. So I had to shoot a pretty high percentage for me to get away with shooting threes. But I think now I'm kind of glad I wasn't in the social media era because I would have just chucked it and said, I'll find a team to let me shoot, But then that's the fundamental part. You see, my head as a youngin', I'm already saying I want to shoot like Curry. I'm going to take those ridiculous shots and for the media attention. So it's like, it's kind of hard, and I don't want to fault kids for that because it's like I would have probably done the same thing. But it's all discipline at the end of the day.
Did you play any AAU or anything like that growing up, Friga?
Oh, yeah. AAU used to be my favorite time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, my junior and senior year of high school was like my favorite time of basketball because I had a young coach, Ben Gordeski, if he's watching this, Cleveland 216ers, and we basically had like a team of like 7 or 8 guys. And like I said, he was young. He might have been like 22 at the time. And he just kind of let us play, but we weren't like messing around. We really had a team that was focused on trying to come into these tournaments and win. I don't know when there was like a turn on the AAU stuff. It has to be with social media would be my guess. Mm-hmm. And like I even take blame in some of that stuff too, with like the park movement and like creating like these highlights and stuff. But that was all just for YouTube and storytelling and stuff. But then once it became a thing on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and like you can go viral now doing these like disrespectful moments in basketball. And then I think it's okay and like pick up or whatever, but like if you're taking it over to a real game, then you are kind of like taking away from the game itself. Like obviously we don't see any NBA players doing this. Like NBA players don't throw a ball fake and wave.
I mean, they do this stuff.
I mean, to a degree, right? But theirs is just like, bro, they get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. They went through years and years of practice and processes and BS to make it to where they are. So like if they dunk on somebody and they want to like taunt them for a second, I feel like it's understandable. And I also think it's understandable on like social media, pick up, whatever. But if you are somebody that's like a basketball player that's trying to get to that next level and the next level, that's like the worst way that you can try and be seen. Because no coach is trying to deal with that type of player. I'm just telling you that now as a playing high school basketball, playing at college basketball for 4 years. Like I just know how the college athletics work, and coaches, they want to coach. This is their full-time job. This is how they support their family. So in college, they're not messing around. If they lose games because of the players that they recruited and the coaching systems that they had in place, they got to go find another job. So the last thing they want to see is like, am I going to have to babysit this kid, or is he coachable?
And I think to add to that, it kind of brings up the point then, I think we should hold the AAU coaches more accountable. Like, they should be held more accountable as far as like what they enable their players to do. And also the parents, because if, you know, what I see when I go to like these AAU games, the rare occasion, you know, I'll pop out, I see like kids not playing good basketball, and the coach is just like, well, he's the star, you know, and I'm sure he's only saying that because the parents are like, oh, let my kid do whatever he wants, you know, he's going to the NBA. And then it's like, well, is he, you know, because he might have all the glam and spotlight right now, but then when he's put up in a real program with a real coach that actually holds their players accountable, he's going to get a wake-up call, and he's going to look not as good as you think your son or, you know, is. But that's just where it's taken, bro. And now with the NIL and how players are able to get their checks, get cars, get houses, it's like it's even harder to discipline and have that discipline.
I'm so back and forth on how I feel with the NIL stuff. Because when I was in college, I would have loved to have made money at the D3 level making YouTube videos, but like I still was a basketball player in school. Like I was in the gym 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I had over a 3.0 GPA, and I was focused on YouTube. So like I think if utilizing it right, I think that I love the NIL stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that if a junior, sophomore, whatever in high school can go make $7 million on a brand contract, it might demotivate them to like even get to the next level, because you're trying to become professional so you can get paid a lot and do this forever. But you see $7 million when you're 20 years old, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I think with that, though, too, maybe I'm looking at the positive side of that. It kind of will eliminate those players that don't necessarily have the full-on passion to play at the highest level.
DeAndre Ayton.
So, yeah, so once these players are in the league, it's like they've already had money, so you know they're really there to compete and just be the best player they can be because they've seen the money. Because we see now in the NBA where these guys, Jordan Poole, were signed big contracts and then just disappear. And I think that's just because they now have what they want. They had everything they need. So it's really it's hard for them to keep going, right? Or tell them to play a certain way.
I could go all day against this one.
All right, hey, let's get spicy. Let's get spicy. Which NBA player today do you think is overpaid? Like maybe they signed a nice extension.
Jordan Poole.
Okay. So now he says Jordan Poole. We can't say Jordan Poole. I'm gonna go super deep in a bag. Bradley Beal.
Wow.
Bradley Beal.
That's tough. That is tough.
I think
Bradley Beal's he's like one of the 3 highest paid players in the NBA right now.
He's a bucket, but hey, there's a lot of
like
guys.
He's 35, 36. And
there's a lot of guys that can get buckets, bro. I mean, you know, if I'm the Wizards,
I think for Bradley Beal,
that's just
Harrison Barnes is making 24 M's a year.
He is, but that's not as bad.
He's only like a few million away from guys like man, I don't know.
Duncan
I just
Robinson.
see like some of his performance in the postseason.
Yeah.
Four points,
You're
1 of 4 field goals. He played 13 minutes in his last game, but they're still paying him like. But I don't want to take away from him because he was a key asset on a championship team. So like you better pay me what respectfully I deserve. So is he overpaid? I don't know, bro. I don't think so. I'm just trying to look some stuff up to go along with it.
Yeah, and I think players are starting to have a little too much control on how bad they can perform, and then they still they end up, you know, getting traded or request to trade, and then the GMs have to honor it because it's like, what can they really do? They're just gonna not try anymore. So it's like, rather than just have 40 million sitting in the post not going for a rebound, ship them out of there. You got to, because otherwise you just, you know. Honestly, I feel like being an NBA GM has to be so hard nowadays. Like, just the ego.
Being a coach is hard. Let's talk about that.
Oh, the coaches.
You get fired.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen.
They were... Bro, I can't believe.
I don't know why it took them so long to get rid of Doc Rivers, but here we are. The playoffs were really weird. The playoffs were weird this year.
I think
Monty, is his name Monty Williams, or who's the coach for the Suns?
Yes.
Me watching that series as an NBA fan, I was very concerned or just confused with his rotations. Like, I'm just like, dude, are you trying to go to the next round? Because you are playing must-win games, and KD and Devin Booker are both on the bench. Like, That should never happen. I don't care how tired you are. You are down 3-0, bro. You are trying to make a miracle right now, or 2-0. You know what I mean?
The Phoenix Suns organization made a statement with that move of firing him because he was the coach of the year in 2021, 2022.
Hey, Dwayne Casey got fired, and the same year he won Coach of the Year, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. No, you are not safe. You know, unless you're like Popovich or something.
Yeah, we're in an era where a lot of front offices are extraordinarily impatient, and I think for sometimes it can be a good thing because if a coach is trash, you're trash. You don't deserve a job. Be on unemployment. It is what it is, bro. But there's other moments where it's like people like Monty Williams or anybody else, any other coach recently who got fired. You have to establish culture, and you can't do that without going through highs and lows. There's no coach in the NBA who's gone through consistent highs unless your roster is extremely consistent, and that's a blessing that Greg Popovich got to experience way back when, and that's just extremely rare. Could you imagine a coach like Eric Spoelstra getting fired after losing against Dallas in 2011? Because if that would have happened in this day and age, he probably would have gotten he would have been gone and cut, and that's you're
true.
just setting yourself up
point.
in a very dangerous territory to have no consistent head of your locker room and whatnot, you know?
Speaking of Eric Spoelstra, I saw a stat the other day that for every game Eric Spoelstra wins, the Miami Heat organization pays him an extra $200,000. Somebody needs to fact check that. I saw something the other day, just recently. I don't know if it's true or not.
Hey, he getting paid
Somebody
this year.
fact check it. Comment below. His contract is $14 million guaranteed. Or $14 million with $3 million guaranteed, but then for every win, it's $200,000.
Hey,
that brother is.
It's funny
breaded.
you say that because I think what's the Denver's coach name? Mike Malone.
Yeah,
he leaves his whole his starters Jokic, Jamal, the starting five be playing the entire game. So I'm curious. I feel like he has somewhere in his contract where he if he wins games, he's getting paid. But because he's the only coach I've seen in the playoffs, he does not care if they're up 30. Jokic, you are playing until the last 2 minutes if we're up by a lot. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
That is hilarious. Yeah, it sounds like Tom Thibodeau. That's how D Rose's knee got blown to oblivion. But needless to say, it's that time again. Everyone's favorite time.
TikTok time. Let's get it.
And we're going to start this one up with, so we're going to draft the best international players ever. I got names flying. If you guys need help or have any pauses or stumps, but now I'm finna say let's draft the best international players of all time.
All right. Friga up first.
Friga, who you got?
Okay, I don't want to tell you guys who's between because I'm going to go with Nikola Jokic as my number one pick.
He took Jokic, so I'm going to take Luka.
Ooh, I like this. Okay. I got Hakeem Olajuwon, and then on top of Hakeem, go ahead and give me. I don't think this is a good pick, but give me Manu Ginobili.
Picking up 6 man and your second pick, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You're great. You're getting fired at the end of the season.
I'm cooked. I am a terrible DM.
Oh,
we all know this.
Man.
All right, Chris.
I'm second. Okay. I'm gonna take Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh my God!
This man took Manu over Giannis. I'm just saying.
I know. It's crazy.
Okay.
You also, all right. It's a snake draft, so I'm gonna pick up Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki. So I got Jokic, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki. Oh, okay. I'm chilling right now.
Okay, my next pick. I'm gonna pick the Italian Mamba, Kobe Bryant. No, play it.
I was about to say you can't do that.
Let's
cheesing.
Okay, let's go.
You could go with Yao Ming.
Ooh.
Oh my God! This is not allowed.
Listen,
this is collusion.
I am gonna actually take Yao Ming, 7'5" tank in the paint. I'm playing zone. Let's go.
Giraffe
gang, baby.
You know what? That's fine.
Right.
You can have Yao. I got Hakeem as my center. Give me Joel Embiid as my power forward. And then for my point guard, give me Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the drip god. Hardest Instagram captions up to date. First team on NBA.
Honestly, if I didn't need a point guard, I would have gone with Tony Parker if I were you, honestly.
Ooh. Oh my God!
Wow, you took Shea over TP, a champion. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. You know, Tony Parker's a number 9 leading scorer in playoff history, and you just took somebody that's like a few years in over him. Good job. Good for you.
Oh man. Let's see. So, is it my pick?
Yeah, your pick.
Okay,
it's your pick.
Luka, Yao Ming, and Giannis.
Oh man,
I'm going even bigger. Give me Pau Gasol.
Oh wow.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that. That's solid. All right, Friga, who you running it off with?
I'm not sure how to say his first name. Preja Stojakovic.
Peja?
Stojakovic.
Oh, I was about
Peja. Okay, that's fire.
Oh.
That's fire.
Predrag Stojakovic, right? Is that his name?
Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah.
All right, back to me.
Sir, I need some Serbian. I got the Serbian power on my team.
I think Friga needs one more.
Oh right. All right. Patty Mills.
Okay, that's a sharpshooter. I like it. You got a solid squad. Who you got, Kris?
Speaking of sharpshooters, 2K legend Drazen. What's his? How do you say his name?
Bogdanovic.
Petrovic.
Oh,
Petrovic, Croatian guy.
Petrovic, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Petrovic. That's my 2 guard. R.I.P.
That's fire. So I got Hakeem, Joel Embiid, and Shea. So I'm gonna take your tip. No one got yeah, my team is cooked. I know. Don't even give me a chance.
So cooked.
All right. Yeah, I'm done. All right, I got none of you guys have Tony Parker, right? You
bro, just get Tristan Thompson and call it a day.
Just take him, bro. You can have him.
Nah, hey, 3 centers is crazy. Chris Thompson. Would it be bad if I got Ben Simmons?
Karl Anthony Towns is Dominican Republic. Karl Anthony Towns is an option too. Joakim Noah, Ben Simmons, Goran Dragic.
Andre Karolinko, bro. You need a 3? Get Karolinko.
Y'all want me to win? Let me suffer in silence. Let me suffer.
He got Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons and Tony Parker.
Ben Simmons at the 3 is wild. You got a big lineup.
Next TikTok. This is gonna be a quick hitter one. I'm gonna name a player, and I want you to let me know if they're better than Jimmy Butler or not. First player up, Kevin Durant.
Better.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. What about LeBron James?
So much better.
He has a broken foot, and he's 38, 39.
He's still better with no feet.
All right, Jason Tatum.
I'm gonna go better.
Better. I mean, they're like the playoffs is but he's still better.
Luka Doncic.
Luka's better.
What about Kyrie Irving?
Better.
Right now, Jimmy Butler.
Yes. Damian Lillard.
I think Damian Lillard's better.
I don't want to sound like a Jimmy Butler hater. I love him. You're naming superstars that are so skilled at basketball that it's hard for me to. Jimmy Butler is a winner. Now, if you did like who do I want on who would I rather have on my team? That's a different story. Damian Lillard.
It's like same answer. Damian Lillard.
Fire. That's the end of that TikTok. Next one. Which moment was more iconic? Kyrie's tough 2016 shot over Steph Curry that basically say won the game or whatever, or LeBron's iconic block on Andre Iguodala?
The block. Without the block, there's no 3, right? Which one came first? I believe that he blocked him, and then they came down and he hit that 3. Or am I tripping?
I'm pretty sure the block came first.
Oh, God, that's so tough. Hold on, I might take that back.
Oh, dude, the block was so crazy. Like,
it's gotta be the
shot. I'm gonna go with the shot. Over Steph Curry, like, you know, just to change the whole momentum of the series right there. Dagger, like, iconic.
I think if we're talking iconic, I have to go with the block. Yeah. I have to, like, what's going to be known in history longer.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man.
Because, I mean, we got to look at the moment, who is the bigger icon, too, because that also makes moments, like, more iconic. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's LeBron's legacy right there. And
it
Kyrie's moment
to come.
is save. You could debate save LeBron's legacy too, but I think the block is.
That's hilarious. Next up, away from the basketball plays and more so things surrounding the game, we got Jimmy Butler's extensions or Kyle Kuzma's disgusting pink sweater that he wore outside of the Wizards, out of the tunnel back when he was a Wizard, when he was a Wizard, I believe.
I'm going the dreads, bro, all day. That one's a no-brainer for me.
I think I'm gonna have to take the pink sweater. You know, it's just like I can't. The extensions were just a little too long for me. And I'd rather just have long sleeves. You know, hey, it might actually fit me with my long ass arms. So who knows?
Okay, well, if this makes it any better, I was thinking about it completely different. Like I was thinking like which one like
was for them or like
I don't know. I was just thinking about how hilarious it is that Jimmy Butler did that.
Next, which player are you taking over the next 5 years? Victor Wembanyama or Luka Doncic?
5 years.
Victor, I predict, is going to take about 2 to 3 years to really become the player we think he's going to be. And Luka's ready right now. But Luka's almost at his plateau, I believe.
He's like 23. So
I'm gonna go with Victor. I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Luka's. So in 5 years, if we're going off of like if you give this player 5 years in the NBA and you give Luka 5 years, I think at that 5th year, Wembanyama's gonna be crazy.
I think Luka Doncic is younger than me right now. I think he's 23. Is that right?
He's 23. Yeah.
I think when he's 28 and he's still capable, I'm gonna go with Luka on that one. I'm gonna go with Luka because I feel like 28 is still very young, and if he's this dominant right now, I can't imagine. I don't know. That is such a good one though. You can't. There's no wrong answer, I don't think. But we'll see in 5 years from now. Come back to this TikTok and let us know.
Facts. Trae Young or Ja Morant?
Ja Morant. Not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Trae Young.
Wow. You don't like Trae Young, do you?
Listen. I love Trae Young.
He don't like short, light-skinned dudes.
No,
that's what I'm
like
saying.
Trae Young's my guy, bro. Like I just like he's not Ja Morant, you know?
That's crazy.
I get
and
that.
I'm happy he's not Ja Morant.
Yeah, you're
Dude,
right. He's not getting suspended.
5 years from now, I'm just gonna say Trae Young because he still might be in the league.
There we go. That's the right answer. There we go.
Somebody had to say it.
There we go. Perfect answer. De'Aaron Fox or LaMelo Ball?
LaMelo Ball. 5 years,
Yeah, I think LaMelo's game is like just evolving every year. So if he can stay healthy, for sure LaMelo Ball.
I think you were bringing up a good point just a minute ago. Chris, you were bringing up a good point a minute ago with him already making an all-star selection. I think his progression as a point guard, an actual facilitator, is amazing.
Very true. And his shot is getting better too. Like, I mean, he wasn't really like consistent shooter. Especially, I was scared. I thought he was gonna be, a Trae Young shooting 29%, but
Bro, oh my God.
My fault.
This is targeted.
My fault. I'm sorry. I'm salty. I had the man on my fantasy team, bro, and he just like killed me in this field goal percentage category. Like literally.
There it is. There it is. We found out why.
Come on, man. I'm never drafting that guy again. He better be in the gym as we speak. Averaging 30 points a game means nothing if you shoot under 30% per game.
He didn't shoot under 30% from the three-point line.
I will
but
pull
this
it.
TikTok is not for that.
I'll play it. Don't make me pull up the stats.
All right, next TikTok. Who's the greatest Laker of all time?
It's got to be Kobe Bryant.
I was going to say Kobe.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kobe Bryant.
I just think, like, the influence, man, as a Laker, like, there's nobody more powerful than, like, Kobe's, like, legacy than just his persona, his brand, everything about him. I just felt like when I even just think Kobe, I see Lakers colors. For Magic, I mean, Magic's right up there for me. Like, I think he's probably second in my opinion, but I just like it's Kobe, man. Like,
I think another thing to consider is that if you were to ask LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal who's the best Laker, they would both say Kobe, because Like, I mean, he was with the Lakers his whole career too. Not to mention the other guys have gone kind of around like greatest Laker. Like, you are that franchise. He embodied everything that it was and meant to be a Laker. And Kobe Bryant, rest in peace of the Mamba.
All right, guys, I'm Kristopher London with Mo and Friga. We just dropped some dimes. Tune in next time. Peace.